Hello and welcome everyone. Ellen Woodbridge here, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia. Welcome to card one of my Merry and Bright class. We are using the stamp set and the coordinating embellishments, which are the iridescent discs. We are using a whole lot of colors today. This is the card that we're making, so definitely going with the Christmas lights theme, and we're using a whole lot of colors. So these are the colors that we are using, and of course I thought I was all prepared, but alas, I am not. So we are using Mellow Mambo, Pool Party, Bubble Bath, Poppy Parade, Lemon Lime Twist, Smoky Slate, and Basic Grey. So a really festive colour palette, but also keeping it nice and colourful and a little bit non-traditional. So I have already started a couple of my panels, and that is where we are going to start, because this process does take a while and I know you can't be here all day, so I have condensed the process a little bit. So to start with, I have taken our line, our electrical wire, however you want to classify it, and I've taken our basic grey ink. Now I've already stamped the whole piece once across the slimline card. Now I will reference back to the slimline card. So this is for our, now what I want to do is slightly overlap and not do what I just did. So slightly overlap that end piece. I did get a little bit there, but that's okay. So let me close this and we will go back to talking about what constitutes a slimline card for me. So I am in Australia and we use A4 cardstock. So this is 21 centimetres square piece of basic grey cardstock. I have scored it at 10.5, which is the normal width, height, however you want to classify it, of our card. So this fits in a business sized envelope. So this white piece is 10 centimetres by 20.5. So for those working in letter, you want to take your shorter side, make your card base square, score it down the middle, then take 1/4 of an inch off your card front. So that is how I get my slimline. I know there are very, very different classifications of the slimline out there. So next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring back this card, is I want to put my light hangers on, and I want to go for a slightly lighter grey, so I'm going for Smoky Slate. Now on my very original card, I think I did about 10, and I did come to realize that was a bit too much, but where I start stamping is on our loops. So I kind of follow the angle of where our loops are, and oops, let's go back and reline that up. Thank God for photopolymer stamps. So I'm taking the angle of our loops and going with that. Now I'm going in and putting a few extra. So I kind of want all different angles, and I want the lights to follow the angle of the actual electrical line, because that's what they do in real life. So one there, so this one will go in this direction, and I kind of want 4 at the top, 4 at the bottom. If I want to add more, I most certainly can. it doesn't matter if they go off, like if they end up off the edge of our card. 1, 2, 3, kind of, it's going to be a bit bare here, so that's going to come down there, that's going to go out there. So I want one just there. Now, if you don't stamp properly, you do get a second chance with your photopolymer stamps. So that is where I have gone with that. So that's the basis. Now this is, and I do feel I need to add another light. Probably, see, that kind of goes on that angle. So I think I want another one here, and then that will go on that angle and be covered up by the sentiment. Okay, so I've already started with my bubble bath, my pool party, and my melon mambo. So I have got a bit of a head start, so then I can show you our 2 remaining colors. What I didn't get down is my scrap of basic white, because we are going to need that, and that is right here. Okay, so I'm going to start with my lemon lime twist, and I'm probably I'm going to take my light. I have given this a really good clean in between colors, so if I put that there, it can go there and there. Or do I want the red? I think I want the lemon lime twist here, so give that a nice ink, and I'm going to try and get that as close to the line as what I can. Now, while I've got the lemon lime twist open, I'm going to take my green blending brush. I'm going to bring back our scrap paper here, just pop this card out of the way, and I'm going to add the glow to the end of our light here. So just like that, doesn't have to be perfect. Probably would have been better if I used my small blending brushes, but these are the ones I have out. So while I have our lemon lime twist out, I'm also going to stamp our word Christmas. So just going to stamp that, probably going to stamp it twice. So once, well, that looks really good. Twice, you know, I'm probably going to do it 3 times, you know, for good luck and all. Okay, 3 times, perfect. I'm very happy. I've got 2 usable ones there. I will use one on another card. So close this one up, and I do need to clean my light stamp here. So what I do to get it really, really clean is I just use a microfiber cloth to get off all the excess ink first. Then, because it's photopolymer and it doesn't actually need conditioning with Stampin' Mist, I take it to my chamois, and I still got some green ink off there. So give it a bit of a twist and a pounce. And then I give it a dry. And I just dry it on the back of my hand. And because it is such a solid stamp, that also helps recondition the surface of the stamp. Okay, so open my Poppy Parade, bring back in our piece here, and I'm going to stamp this twice. So I'm going to stamp it once here. Now this is going to be covered up a little bit with our sentiment, so I'm really happy we've got another partial one just here. So you can see we've got the partial one. I am going to take our red, well, this is a very dark pink / red blending brush. I'm going to take a lot of that off because red is a very strong colour, and I even just stuffed it up a little bit there. And take whatever I've got left here and create that lit halo. So I may be able to cover that up with the sentiment. And speaking of sentiments, while I'm here, I'm going to stamp the Holly Jolly on my scrap piece of paper. Now, you can bet your bottom dollar that I already have a hand cut one pre-prepared. My hands aren't wonderful today, but that did stamp beautifully. My hands aren't wonderful today, so I'm not going to hand cut that out, but I am going to take my large scissors here because they will help me a lot today, and just go up each side here. Try not to get my fingers. And I'll go from this edge and just snip out this Christmas. So then this is ready to rock and roll. Then I will shut that ink pad before I get red ink everywhere, because that will be just my luck. So this doesn't take too long to come together. A great card to mass produce, because you could have all of your pieces up to the same point and be able to stamp those colors multiple times. So I do need to bring back our smoky slate. Where did that piece go? It is right over here. So we do have to add the filament in between, and this is some very, very simple. There we go. That's a bit stiff. So very, very simply, using smoky slate, we are going to add that filament to the middle of each bulb. So it is up to you which shape bulb you used. You could use the nice rounded one that we have used, or you can use the more, I don't even know whether it is more traditional or not, but you could use the more pointy one. I can't remember what style of lights I have on my tree, whether they are pointy or not. I assume I shall find out when I unpack my tree in early December. Okay, so this part of the process doesn't take very long at all. So there we go. We have those stamped. I'm going to close that. So that is all our stamping done. So now all we are doing is assembling our card. Now I do have a pre-prepared basic grey card base. As I said, 21 centimeters by 21, scored at 10.5. So that is the same width as our width or height as our standard card. So we have that there. I'm going to pop this base straight down, and then we are going to start assembling our sentiment. Or it's really a sentiment cluster, because the sentiment is made up of a couple of elements. I did do a bit of a wiggle there. Did move some glue. Thank God for an adhesive eraser, which can remove that for me. Okay, that is down. So now on our piece of vellum, which I have already pre-prepared, the measurements for that are going to be in the PDF or the document that I provide with everything that I have used in this project. So we're going to use some mini dimensionals if I can grab them out. I should have probably pre-prepared them a little bit earlier, but hey, that's what happens. Now, do remember, your piece of paper does have two sides. So if you do ruin one side, just turn it over and you've always got the other side. Now, this has red ink on it, so I'm going to get that off. It's stopping me from grabbing my dimensionals. There we go. Now I can happily grab them. Okay, so I just want to support this along the hand cut. Now do remember when you are hand cutting to move your paper more than what you use your scissors, and you will get a much smoother finish of your hand cutting. Okay, so I think just one more on that. Put a couple here on our Christmas and we are ready to rock and roll. So I think I just need 3 here, one each end, one in the middle. Make it nice and balanced. And as always, I am going to use my Take Your Pick tool with the crafter's tips, because I love this hook to grab my dimensional backings. It has been the best discovery ever. I was using or trying to use just the straight piece, but they just didn't pull off as easy as what this does. So even with one still on there, I can pick these off super duper easily. So I am going to start with my Christmas on my vellum piece, and then I can, now this is not centered, I can already see that, but that's okay. That gives me space on this end for my embellishments. So, and the Holly Jolly Christmas can just go over there. And on here we do have the perfect space. So I'm only covering up a little bit of our lemon lime twist bulb, and I am covering my heavy-handedness on this Melon Mambo coloured halo. This one's still up here, that's okay. I can't see that people will heavily judge me for it. So I'm going to adhere this with some glue dots behind the sentiments. So I do find glue dots to be a great solution for adhering vellum. Okay, so just going to use 2 here. Now, if I did put these on the free parts of the vellum that aren't covered up by the sentiment, you will be able to see the glue dots. I personally don't like that look. I like the adhesive to be covered up and not seen. They aren't very sticky and want to stick to my fingers and everything else, which isn't a whole lot of fun, but hey. And I think I'll just put one on the end there, and we are totally done and ready to stick this down. And all we have left is just a little bit of embellishing. Okay, so pop that there. I love that you can still see the colour coming through the vellum there. So that's the other reason I choose vellum, is because it's transparent. So let's take our iridescent dots, and you can see here, sorry, I feel like I'm going to sneeze, that I've taken a lot of the colours out of the colours of the suite, which is Poppy, Pool Party, Mambo, Granny Apple Green. I did substitute the Granny Apple Green for the Lemon Lime Twist, but these embellishments still do work incredibly well with the Lemon Lime Twist. So I am going to, now these are just white iridescent, which I love. So I'm just going to pop that one in there. I'm going to use the green one, and I think I'm going to pull in some of that poppy here, and where there isn't any of our melon mambo, that's what I'm going to do there. Now I do have a bit of an area here that I can pop 2. I think I just want to pop 2 over here. So I've used every color, so now it's up to me what I would like to replicate, and I'm going to use the iridescent that does have some of that pink, and I kind of want to put some up here to create a little bit of a visual triangle. So I am going to grab that poppy and see if that picks up, and just pop that right there. So we have just created a merry and bright string of lights using the stamp set. You could do whatever sentiment you wanted. Merry and bright would work really well. I just like Holly Jolly Christmas. I like the script font in this stamp set. You could also add the little light, the little brightness stamp there if you want, and you could also add the star. We will be using the star in one of our other cards, but this is card 1. So using the stamp set, using lots of ink, we did use blending brushes and made a slightly different size card, but this card could be replicated in any size that you want. Thank you so much for supporting me by purchasing the class or earning it. I do appreciate all your support, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.